Hi, fourth grade, it's Miss O'Donnell here. Today we're working on day 2 of close reading. The other day we spent time reading How Tia Lola Saved the Summer. We came up with a really strong main idea that the characters were Juanita, Lola, and the swords, that our problem was Juanita wanted to play with kids her own age and her cousins, and she wanted to be the best, that Juanita was mad and lonely, and that our outcome was that that Tia Lola speaks to Juanita, but she still feels unimportant. And our lesson learned that we came up with was that you could be kind to yourself and you don't need to be perfect. Today, we're going to pay attention to how our author, Julia Alvarez, uses point of view, which is the perspective from which a text is written. Point of view sometimes we have in nonfiction, where we're thinking about the author's opinion of the topic. But when we think about point of view in fiction, we need to think about first person and third person. For first person, this is where the narrator is actually part of the story, and we only focus on one character's thoughts or feelings. We're not really learning about the other characters. In third person, we're actually seeing the narrator outside of the story, and we're learning about all of the characters' thoughts and feelings. Let's take a look at this chart. Point of view. So we can see in first person that the narrator is part of the story. We see words like I, we, me. In third person, the narrator is outside of the story, and we're learning about multiple characters. We're seeing he, she, they, it. So let's jump into our story and start to think about, whose point of view is this being told from? Here we go. Juanita sits on the back steps, her elbows on her knees, her face in her hands. She lets out a long, sad sigh. She was so excited about the swords coming just at the point in the summer when she would be starting to miss her friends from school. So it seems like we're learning about Juanita, and I'm seeing words like she. I'm not seeing I or me. So it doesn't make me think Juanita's telling the story. I'm starting to think this might be third person. Our narrator is outside of the story, looking in on Juanita. Let's look at another part of the text. Carrie got all blinky-eyed and red-faced. Head bowed, she slowly walked downstairs to the kitchen, where Mommy and Tia Lola were cooking up a storm. So now I'm learning about Carrie. She started to get all blinky-eyed. She started to get a little red-faced. She's walking downstairs. I'm learning about another character. I'm not seeing any language about I or me. Let's continue reading. The odd thing, and something that Juanita wasn't counting on, was that her outburst, that's Carrie, we're learning about her outburst, didn't make her feel any better, but she couldn't help herself, that Carrie couldn't help herself. Now I'm learning about Juanita and Carrie. So I want to go back to our chart. Let's ask ourselves, is the narrator part of the story? And she's telling us about her thoughts and feelings? Or are we only learning about one character's thoughts and feelings? Or is the narrator outside of the story? Are they looking in and telling us about multiple characters and their thoughts and feelings? I'm starting to see language like she and her, and I'm also learning about Carrie and Juanita. This is making me think it is third person. I know if I looked back at the text, if this text was in first person, I think I would see language like I sit on the back steps. My elbows were in my knees. My face was in my hands. That would make me think I was only learning about Juanita, but I'm actually learning about all the other characters, which makes me think it's third person. Let's go ahead and look at our question for today. From whose point of view is the story written? Well, I'm thinking that the point of view that the story is written, the point of view from which the story is written is the narrator. Doesn't make me think that it's any other character. It's not Juanita. It's not being told from Carrie. It's not being told from the sword's perspective. It's being told from the narrator because we're learning about other characters' thoughts and feelings. Now I need some evidence to prove this idea. I can't wait to see you add 2 pieces of evidence to the claim that we came up to. Good luck. You got this.